vocal person is Miss Courtney Huffman Frye, and Dan Fuertges will be playing the Alpenhorn. So please stick around. Got a lot of good music lined up for you. So please, at this time, welcome Courtney Huffman Frye and Dr. David Broman.
Thank you. Please rise if you are able and join me in the singing of our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets with glee, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, good evening. We're glad you could join us tonight on this beautiful summer night right here in central Illinois. Remember, out there by the tracks, I see we still have the creosote is still out there, isn't it, right now? They'll eventually probably install that at some point in time. But if that train comes through and you hear this sound, we just ask that you please step back by the cars. You can leave your chairs where they are. They're just worried about people, okay? And then they won't just park here and play that horn. Well, we're going to start with a piece that was done by Claire Grunman, and he's an American composer, arranger, and probably one of the 20th century's most prolific and highly respected composers for band. And he went to school at Shaw High School in East Cleveland, and then also the Ohio State University. Did anybody else go to the Ohio State University? Maybe we won't play this then. Okay. No, we will play this. And he went then from Ohio State, attended Berkshire Music Center, studied composition with a gentleman named Paul Hindemith, very famous composer, taught arranging and woodwinds and band at Ohio State, but then went off in World War II and was a member of the Coast Guard. And over 50 years wrote some 100 pieces. The piece we're going to play for you tonight was dedicated to Frederick Fennell and the Eastman Wind Ensemble. This is Claire Grunman's Music for a Carnival. The next work we have this evening is by Dmitri Shostakovich, and he composed what is called Waltz Number 2 back in 1955-56, and it was for a military-based film that was called The First Echelon. And then somewhere around in the 50s, and it was listed as anonymous, but it was probably Shostakovich himself. He arranged an orchestral suite from ballet, music theater, and film music. And all that music had come from the 30s, all through the 50s. And then he put the suite together, and it got mistitled. It was called Suite for Jazz Orchestra Number 2. But now we know, no, it wasn't supposed to be that. It was supposed to be Suite for Variety Orchestra. And then Waltz Number 2 is the 7th piece out of 8 that's a part of that score. So we picked this one because in the Echelon, in the movie, there's a number of different pieces that are in there. Cheerful overture, mass songs, fanfares, and then 2 brief sequences where you hear this Waltz Number 2. And you're going to recognize it. You've heard it before. And it's playing from a loudspeaker. And it's appropriate tonight because this is when the new recruits arrived and they were dancing in a blizzard. So we thought this would cool things off this evening for you a little bit. So for the broad public, you know, Waltz Number 2, it's been used in a number of movies, and it's a very famous melody. Shostakovich's Waltz Number 2. Next up, we have a short little march that was written for Merle Evans, and he was the bandmaster for the Ringling Barnum and Bailey Circus. And it was written by a gentleman named Carl King, and we've played things by Carl King in the past. And what's interesting about him is at age 11, he went out and bought his first cornet, and he did that by selling newspapers back then. More astonishingly is that by the time he was 17, he had his first work published. And then we often talk about the fact that then he left home and went to play with circus bands, Barnum and Bailey, Sells Floto, and Buffalo Bill Wild West Show. And he was always being asked to write music. He had a knack for being able to pick the kind of music that would go to each of the acts that you would see in a circus. He composed the Invictus, or Invincible March, just after he took the helm of the Fort Dodge, Iowa Military Band, a position he held for some 38 years. So this is Carl King's Invictus March. It's always a pleasure to have Courtney Huffman Frye sing with the band, and super versatile soprano, super talented. Some time ago, she took first place in the Nats Artist Award competition down in Nashville, Tennessee, and then made a solo debut in some place they call Carnegie Hall. She also performed a winner's recital at the 51st NAS convention in Salt Lake City, Utah as well. She's a native of Bend, Oregon, but then she came to Illinois to attend school, Champaign, and she earned a music degree at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. She went on and got a Master of Music degree back out on the West Coast, University of Southern California, and then returned back here to Central Illinois, where she's doing an excellent job of being a teacher and serves on the voice faculty at Bradley University. Please welcome Courtney Huffman Frye. Courtney?
Thank you so much. It's always such a pleasure to sing with the Peoria Municipal Band, and I'm honored to be here this evening, so thank you. This first set, I thought I would do a little tribute to Barbra Streisand. Do I have any Streisand fans out there tonight? Woohoo! Yes, quite a few. My mom was a huge Streisand fan, and I thought that, I think that one of her best on-screen performances was in the movie Funny Girl. It was released in 1969, and Barbara won the Academy Award for Best Actress that year for it. And I think she was actually tied with Katharine Hepburn as well. Let's see. Funny Girl follows the story of the comedian Fanny Brice and her stormy relationship with entrepreneur and gambler Nicky Arnstein. And in this song, she's just met Nicky for the second time and is beginning to fall in love with him. So here is People from Funny Girl, music by Jules Stein.
People who need people are the luckiest people in the world. We're children needing other children. A grown-up bride hide all the need inside, acting more like children than children. Lovers are very special people. Special person, a feeling deep in your soul says you were half, now you're whole. No more hunger and thirst, but first be a person who needs people who need people. Soul says you were half, now you're whole. No more hunger and thirst, but first be a person who needs people who need people. Are the luckiest people.
Thank you. Thank you, Dan. All right, so this next one is from my daughter's favorite musical, Hello, Dolly. So here's a shout out to Ellery. I love you. So Hello, Dolly was released a year after Funny Girl. and it's based on the 1964 Broadway production. It had an all-star cast directed by Gene Kelly, with appearances by Michael Crawford, Walter Matthau, the young Michael Crawford, and the legendary Louis Armstrong. And it follows the story of Dolly Levi, a matchmaker who travels to Yonkers, New York, to make a match for the well-known unmarried half-a-millionaire Horace Vandegelder. And in this song, Dolly has returned to the restaurant that her and her late husband used to frequent, and they give her quite the hello for returning. So here is Hello, Dolly by Jerry Herman.
Hello, Rudy. Well, hello, Stanley. It's so nice to be back home where I belong. You're looking swell, Manny. I can tell, Danny. You're still glowing, you're still growing, you're still going strong. I feel the room swaying, for the band's playing one of my old favorite songs from way back when. So bridge that gap, fellas, find me an empty lap. Fellas, Dolly, you'll never go away again. Sing it to me, sweet. I feel the room swaying, for the band's playing one of my old favorite songs from way back when. So here's my hat, fellas, I'm staying where I'm at. Fellas, Dolly, you'll never go away. Dolly, you'll never go away. Dolly, you'll never go away again.
Thank you.
How many of you have a family crest or a coat of arms, as they say, that you're aware of in your history? There's a few. This march is entitled Coat of Arms, and it was written by a gentleman named George Kenny, but that is a pseudonym for Kenneth George Whitcomb. He was a clarinetist, a saxophonist, and arranger in the United States Military Academy Band at West Point in New York, and then he became the second conductor of the military orchestra that they had. Then he got transferred to Germany. Over there, he led the 30th United States Army Band. When he came back, he went to work for Disney out in Anaheim, California, and Walt Disney often corresponded with him asking for recommendations about marches and festive music that could be played in any Disney amusement park in the world. Retired in 1973 and then passed away in 1997 in LA, but left us with a lot of great music. A great march, Coat of Arms. Not yet. A man who needs no introduction. He's dressed differently than we are. This is not Arkady Schilklupper, but that's who wrote this piece you're about to hear, and he wrote it for Alpenhorn, or as we say, Alpenhorn. Studied in Moscow, played in the Bolshoi Theater Orchestra, also the Moscow Philharmonic Orchestra. But since that time, he's been traveling literally around the world and presenting concerts, master classes, doing a lot of recording. The piece that he wrote that you're going to hear tonight is called Crested Butte Mountain. And playing that is a guy that does need an introduction. This is Dan Fuertges. He hails from the mountains of Walnut, Illinois. Give him a big round of applause. Can you imagine skiing down the slopes in Walnut with this thing here? Studied music at Bradley University, graduated in 2001, then did a master's in library and information science from the University of Illinois, and he is the campus librarian at ICC's Peoria campus. So you can find him freelancing on this particular instrument, manages the Lindenhof Echoes, Alpenhorn Ensemble, and also Al's Pals Polka Band, all through Peoria's German-American Society. He's also taking the lead this year of establishing a hunting horn ensemble also through that club. He recently participated in the Windy City Alpenhorn workshop. Did anybody else go to that? Just checking. And then he'll be attending the International Horn Society Symposium, Fort Collins, Colorado, coming up here in July. Enjoy Crested Butte Mountain and Dan Fuertges on the Alpenhorn. Thank you, Daniel. Okay, so now it's going to be a test. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 songs that are in this next collection of Broadway marches. All you have to do is know all 4 titles correctly. Good luck. Want to remind you about our schedule this week. Friday, we will be at St. Philomena's Church and School, 7 o'clock. So we invite you to that one. And then also Sunday, right back out at Glen Oak Park, 7 o'clock as well. So if you can join us, we would be pleased to have you, and bring a friend, okay? It's been great to work with Courtney this week. Let's welcome her back, please. Courtney Huffman Frye. Courtney?
Thank you. Okay, for this next set, we're going to go back in time a little bit to the late 1800s, early 1900s. Does anybody remember the name Zygmunt Romberg? Yeah? There's some in the back. He was a Hungarian-American composer, born in Hungary in 1887, eventually made his way to Vienna, where he studied composition there, and then ended up in New York City in 1909 and was employed as a pianist in cafes and restaurants. He ended up being the founder of his own orchestra and wrote a few songs, published a few songs, but it wasn't until the 1920s when he wrote his best-known operettas, The Student Prince, The Desert Song, and The New Moon were probably his three most popular operettas. So we will be doing a medley of songs from these three operettas, and you will hear quite a bit of that Viennese waltz influence from his studies in Vienna, as well as a tango and some marches, and a lot of schmaltz. It was very schmaltzy, so hope you guys will enjoy the schmaltz, and feel free to get up and dance. And this is a tribute to Romberg, music by Zygmunt Romberg, and arranged by Walter McLean. Thank you.
Girls, here are cavaliers, handsome cavaliers, aren't they fine? We're big fighters, everyone, and we're going to be beaten in the fighting line. Did you call for soldiers true, for gallant fighting men of France? We are here to answer you, so let the bugle call advance. Out we'll go to rout the foe, for back at home there waits perchance a charming valley, light of love, and amorette we long to see, Antoinette, your sweet Marie. That's why we love to fight, to love the maids of France. white bars and white stars leading both on our way. Our one flag forever when war and hatred are gone. So glory, glory, hallelujah, we'll sing as we go marching on. One alone to be my own, I alone to know his caresses, one to be eternally, the one my worshipping soul possesses. At his call I'd give my all my life and all my love enduring. This would be a magic world to me if I am his golden days in the sunshine of our happy youth, golden days full of innocence and full of truth. In our hearts we remember them, all else above. Golden days full of youth and love. How we laughed with a gaiety that had no sting, looking back through memory's haze. We will know life has nothing sweeter than its springtime. Golden days when we're young, golden days. Softly, as in a morning sunrise, the light of love comes stealing into a newborn day. Oh, flaming with all the glow of sunrise, a burning kiss is sealing the vow that all betray. For the passions that thrill love and lift you high to heaven are the passions that kill love and let you fall to hell. So ends each story softly, as in an evening sunset, the light that gave you glory will take it all away. give me some men who are stout-hearted men, who will fight for the right they adore. Start me with 10 who are stout-hearted men, and I'll soon give you 10,000 more. Oh, shoulder to shoulder, and bolder, they grow as they go to the fore. If there's nothing in the world can halt or mar up and land, we stout-hearted men can stick together, men.
Thank you.
We have several giveaways here. The first one, anybody that orders here before 6:15 gets a chance for a $25 gift certificate to Kelleher's. So come early, stake out your table, get your food, and get a chance to win $25. And let's see who wins that. Looks like Owen Ackerman. Owen Ackerman. Okay, we'll meet you at the back table and give you the Kelleher's. And the next one's going to be Los Cabos, a $25 gift certificate. Steve Brereton, you get Los Cabos. I think I know that name. And we'll do one more because we have a $20 gift certificate to Le Peep. Great breakfast. Hold on. Ron Silver, you're going to be eating breakfast at Le Peep. So, okay, meet us at the back table and back to the Peoria Municipal Band.
big change of pace coming up. We're going to go back to our celebration idea, and this piece has 4 great Latin favorites, and it's called then, very clever, Latin Celebration. Well, we're extremely grateful you came out tonight, and when it's hot like this, you have a better chance of winning one of the restaurant gift certificates. You notice that, right? Want to remind you about our concerts this week now. Friday, St. Philomena's Church and School. Bring a lawn chair to that one, okay? There's no seating provided. And then Sunday, Glen Oak Park. Of course, there are park benches there. You can bring your own seating as well. And if you notice, it's pretty nice tonight. It's cooled off a little bit, light breeze. Maybe a little more breeze would be nice. But it does cool off in the evening, so we hope you'll continue to join us throughout the summer and share the word that we have started, and we have many concerts left. Tonight, we want to thank our vocal soloist, Courtney Huffman Frye. Give her a big round of applause. Also, from the mountains of Walnut, Illinois, Mr. Dan Fuertges. Give him a big round of applause. And then, of course, we want to thank Todd Pilon for making us sound good. Thank you, Todd. And somewhere is Pat Sullivan. There's Pat in that dark green shirt, and it's his birthday today. We were going to sing Happy Birthday, but I've heard you sing before, so we're just going to say Happy Birthday, Pat. Okay? And we want to thank everybody down here at Kelleher's who helps get all these things set up, and we appreciate that. There's a number of people, obviously, in the band that make this thing go, so give them a round of applause. George Graves Jr. is our band manager. Kristen Sheets is our librarian. Laurel fills in Etzel. She takes care of assistant conductor. Sometimes Jason Shea does that. And then Liz Driscoll, she does stuff. Mara does stuff. Frank does stuff. And in the back, we let Jeremy Clark sit down at the drum set every once in a while. You remember how this band works. We rehearse on Monday nights one time and prepare the concerts for the week. So this is a really amazing group of musicians that are behind me up here and hardworking. So again, we appreciate your support of them and what we do all summer long. We close this evening giving you a few moments to reflect on what a great country it is we live in. This is America the Beautiful.